Hey everybody, how y'all out there on Cantankerous Old Coots? Thought you were going to watch the political coot, didn't you? And you folks over there at commonsenseconversation.com, you thought you were going to get the coffee club. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise. We are combining those two shows on those two blogs into one show, simulcast, on the two blogs, and we're redoing the show from the name right on down. What used to be the political coot and what used to be the coffee club is now, get ready, y'all been accusing me of this for a while, so I'm just going to admit it in the show name from now on. It's now the Tinfoil Hat Club. And we're going to change how we approach the show. You folks over there watching the political coot on cantankerousoldcoots.com, you're used to me trying to put a little bit of a humorous spin on some of government stupidity. Well, hate to tell you folks, but I'm having a hard time trying to find anything funny about government anymore. And you folks over there at commonsenseconversation.com been watching the coffee club. You've been having fun laughing at me rant and rave. And that's okay. I'm still going to rant and rave. But the show's going to change for y'all on both sides from now on. I've been having a little bit of trouble the last 3 weeks trying to figure out just exactly what I wanted to do with this show. Because all I've been doing is bitching. I've been bitching and laughing at Cantankerous Old Coots, and I've been just plain damn bitching at Common Sense Conversation. The fact is, folks, if all you do is bitch and complain, you're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. Now, I've thrown a little bone out there towards the solution. I've told both of y'all on both blogs about the little thing over there in the widget on Common Sense Conversation where you can put in your address and click submit, and you'll get back your representative and your two senators' name, address, phone number, email address. I've been throwing that bone out there like I was really trying to figure out how to fix things. Problem with that is, all I did was bitch and tell you to call them. I didn't give you any solutions. I didn't give you anything specific to do. And the hard cold fact is, most people, they don't feel like they can do anything. What the hell's my vote mean? Just one person. What can I do? I mean, so I call my congressman. Whoopee. Well, first of all, your one vote can mean a lot. Sometimes it depends on how big a jurisdiction you live in. I live in a small town in North Georgia. And the first county commission election after I moved here swung on 19 votes. Folks, 19 votes isn't but 10 people. 10 people change one side and go to the other, and there's a 20-vote swing right there. And the man that won that election, I live in one of the few counties left in this country, has a sole commissioner. The man that won that election is still the commissioner. And he is a far cry better than the piece of crap garbage that was voted out. 10 people. 10 people decided whether or not the last 10 years in Pickens County, Georgia has been under a commissioner who has some problems, who I disagree with sometimes, but who is honest and not a crook and not a self-aggrandizing piece of crap who takes care of himself. 10 votes. Sometimes 19 votes, 10 voters. Sometimes that few people can swing bigger elections too. So your vote does count. As far as what you can do, well, all I've left y'all with is call and bitch, call and bitch, call and bitch, call and bitch. I hadn't told you what to bitch about specifically. I hadn't told you bill numbers. I hadn't told you anything that's about to happen. So that's going to change. As of today, the show takes on a slightly different format. Going to lay out a problem. Going to bitch a little bit. Going to rant and rave. Going to lay out a solution. That's a new one. and then tell you specifically what you can do to help make that solution happen. Now, with that said, this first show, we're going to look at something that's been in the news here in the last 10 days, big time. We're going to take a look at government waste. And what's been in the news specifically, if y'all watch the news at all, and if you're watching this show, I'm sure you do watch the news, is the General Services Administration, Western Division, and that little junket they took to Las Vegas that they called a conference. Conference my ass. It was a damn big ass taxpayer paid for party is what it was. That's been in the news lately, and the head of the GSA Western Division's been in the news. I'm sure y'all have seen him. You know, that smirking son of a bitch with the gold chain around his neck sitting in the hot tub with 2 glasses of wine in front of him. You know, wine that you paid for, hot tub that you paid for. Probably a damn gold chain around his neck you paid for, too. That's been in the news lately. Wasting government money. Couple of sub-stories under that, and people got to looking into the GSA out there, Western Division. And it's not just Western Division. That's just what's been in the news this week. Next week it's probably going to be somebody else. But another thing about the GSA that's been in the news, not front page. You may have missed these two. GSA Western Division takes care of Hawaii, government property in Hawaii, which makes sense since Hawaii is west. And they're opening a new FBI field office out there in Hawaii. Now, the government owns property all over the damn place, including Hawaii. And why in the hell they rented property for that new field office, I don't know, but they did. They rented property. Got all built out and looking fine and fancy and pretty. It's probably had the FBI emblem just inside the entrance, inlaid in the floor in gold leaf or some shit like that. That's about what the government would do. But they got a new FBI office out there, and we got to open that FBI office properly. So the General Services the General Services Administration, Western Division, decided to go out for the ribbon cutting. 7 of them for 7 days for a damn ribbon cutting. It don't take very long. Just before I did this show, I took a piece of ribbon and a pair of scissors. It takes about a half a second. And one person can do it. 2 people if one holds each side of the scissors. But no. General Services Administration, it takes 7 people. That's kind of like, you know, how many government employees it takes to screw in a light bulb. It takes 7 people to cut that damn ribbon in Hawaii, and it takes them 7 days to do it. Oh, and the guy in charge of that little trip, he decided he wanted an extra day. He took a day's vacation, and we didn't pay for that vacation day. He had it coming. He took a day's vacation, stayed out there. Of course, he was staying in a hotel with a $1,000 a night bill. Oh, and he didn't pay for that. He took a vacation day. He took time he was entitled to and stayed in the $1,000 a night hotel room at your expense, paid for by taxpayer dollars. GSA Western Division is not done. Another little thing that come out y'all might have missed. You know, I pointed out that the FBI should have been using government property instead of renting more office space because we probably own some out there. We own enough out there that the GSA Western Division decided they needed somebody in Hawaii to oversee that property. Somebody in Hawaii, and there's not a damn realtor in Hawaii capable of it. GSA hired a realtor to send them out there to take care of it. A realtor that was in Colorado. A realtor that they paid the moving expenses for to move to Hawaii to take care of that property. Paid the moving expenses from Colorado to Hawaii. All $310,000 worth of expenses you and me, the taxpayer, paid to move that damn realtor out to Hawaii. And guess what? He lasted 8 months and quit. Opened his own real estate office in Hawaii. I guess he had the money to pay for a real estate office off of the money he didn't have to spend to move his damn ass out there because we paid for it. Now, there's the rant. There's the problem, government waste. I got a solution, folks. First, I'm going to tell you how to implement this solution. If I call my Congress critters, 2 senators and a representative, and tell them what I'm fixing to tell y'all, it'll be what they call pissing up a rope. Does no good, just flows right back down. If 2 people call, if just one of y'all listening to me does this, it's not going to do any good. That's 2 people pissing up a rope. But if enough people call, it's kind of like the old Alice's Restaurant song. It'll be a movement. And it might do some good. So here's a common sense type of solution for that. Right about now, a lot of baby boomers are retiring. And these retiring baby boomers have time on their hands and would like to have a little bit more money than they're going to have. And I think we ought to take some of those baby boomers that were in middle management whose job it was to watch pennies for corporations and hire them. Yep, another government program. Nice thing about this one, though, is it doesn't cost crap, and it might actually save money. We hire some baby boomers, and we stick them in places like the General Services Administration, maybe, or the Department of Energy. You know, those people that gave away $535 billion to Solyndra. No, $535 million, excuse me. Let's not over-exaggerate. To Solyndra. We put them in agencies like that, and we pay them. All we pay them is minimum wage. That's not a very expensive government program. Now, why would a baby boomer that's just retired want to work for minimum wage? Well, there's a lot of them working for minimum wage as greeters at Walmart, but that's beside the point. Why would these recently retired middle managers want to work for minimum wage? Well, because we give them a bonus. For every dollar that they can save in an agency, they get 10 cents. Now, they don't get to jack the agency's budget way up just to cut it way back and say, no. You take 2008, or hell, even take 2012 budget for any agency. I think it ought to be 2008 before Obama started jacking shit up and spending money faster than every other president we've ever had combined. But I'll go along with 2012. Use that for a baseline. Every dollar that these guys can cut from what every agency is spending without touching a program, you don't have to gore any oxes. There's nobody's ox going to be in a ditch. Don't cut any programs, nothing. Just cut the waste. If the damn place orders 5 boxes of paper clips and doesn't need but 1, cut 4 boxes of paper clips. That's all. Just cut waste. Don't worry about saving money anywhere else right now. Just cut waste. It won't touch the third rail of politics, Social Security and Medicare. It won't touch any of the social giveaway programs that half this country's on. Just cut waste. And give them 10 cents on the dollar. You will have a shitload of retired middle managers running around making $10, $15, $20 million a year. But if they're making $10 million a year, they saved us $90 million a year. Now that's a pretty damn good swap to me. So, I've talked to my Congress critters about that. I think maybe y'all ought to talk to your Congress critters about the same damn thing. Use that little widget in the sidebar on Common Sense Conversation. Put in your address, click submit. Nothing is saved. You hadn't just given me your email address so that I can send you all kinds of junk mail, 27 pieces a day for the next 50 years or anything like that. All you've done is check to see who your representative and who your senators are, and what your Congress critters' email addresses are, telephone numbers are, street addresses are, I wish it showed their public next time they're going to be doing a town hall meeting or anywhere where they're appearing in public so that you can go confront them face to face. But it doesn't show that. But it damn sure gives you a telephone number to call. And now I've given you a specific reason to call and a specific suggestion to make. So why don't y'all do that between now and next week when you come back and see me again? And remember, one thing that hadn't changed from the Political Coot and from the Coffee Club, every time you're in contact with one of your elected officials at any level, state, local, federal, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you're talking to them about. It can be about an issue, or it can be in the local coffee shop, local diner when you're having breakfast and you see him sitting across the room before you walk out of that room. You walk over, you say, "Hey, how you doing? Hope you take care of my money real good today." You make sure you're shaking his hand, and you grab hold real tight where you can't get away until you're done with what you have to say. You look him right straight in the eye, and you tell him, "We don't work for you. You work for us." Now, y'all have a good day. You have a good week. Remember, this show's on every Tuesday. Until then, y'all come back now. You hear?